Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of BingX Blockchain Week. We would like to thank you all for joining us. We are kicking back with some interviews of good projects. Today we have Charlie Hu from Polygon Network. Charlie, welcome.
Thank
We
you
are
very
really
much.
glad to have you. Charlie, for the start, can you please tell us more about yourself, and then we can go on with the project?
Sure. So first of all, thank you.
Charlie, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So first of all, thank you very much. As if and can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So thank you for having me, and really appreciate for the invitation and have this opportunity to share about what we're doing and about myself. So yeah, a brief intro about myself. My name is Charlie Hu. I'm born and raised in China. Have been in the crypto space since 2013. And the first time I got to know Bitcoin was in Amsterdam in 2013, and that's how I got to know cryptocurrency. Was one of the organizer of Amsterdam Bitcoin meetup, and get to know Ethereum in around 2015 in Berlin. That's how I get to know smart contract, Ethereum technology, and especially following up with some of the early stage developer of Ethereum, such as the CTO of the Ethereum Gavin, and that's why I deep dive into this blockchain journey. Quite early into quite some Web3 infrastructure projects since 2017. Have been doing ecosystem building from 2017 to 2020, and last year, getting involved in many DeFi protocols. That's how I get to know a lot of other layer two solutions, including Matic. So and now we call it we call it Polygon this year, right? So I joined Polygon full time since this April, and so far I've been talking to over 400 projects, and I successfully bring a lot of projects into the ecosystem. And yeah, every day hustling has been a wonderful journey. 2021 is absolutely amazing, and it's already actually December, and still actually very busy with a lot of work, and looking forward to the talk today.
welcome to the December. That's the first day of the winter.
Yeah,
That's good. That's great experience you have, Charlie. Would like to start with getting to know Polygon more. Can you tell us what
sure.
is Polygon Network? And
Mhm.
I mean, every crypto blockchain project has to solve a problem, right? And
Right.
what does the Polygon solve the problem? Which problem does it solve?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So Polygon is one of the biggest ecosystem in the Ethereum around the Ethereum ecosystem. It's one of the main vision and mission is to solve the scalability and scaling problem for Ethereum. So to use one sentence to describe what is Polygon, it's Ethereum's internet blockchain. Try to build all kinds of full stack scaling solution, and on layer two and on all kinds of scaling around Ethereum. So we believe Ethereum has one of the biggest, network effect, as being serving as one of the fundamental layer one blockchain infrastructure, but still facing quite a big of the scalability issue. Everybody knows the gas fee in Ethereum right now is quite high. So Polygon started from sidechain in Ethereum. Now we have the PUS chain, commit chain, and multiple layer two scaling solutions such as Vladimir, and we have upcoming Polygon in Hermes EVM, ZK EVM, and we just acquired three ZK rollup teams, such as Polygon Nightfall, Polygon Midden, and there's another one we can announce the news as well. So we really trying to be one of the biggest layer two scaling aggregator around Ethereum to solve this scalability issue. And so far, Polygon has successfully supported over 3,000 application projects built on Polygon. And the gas fee is lower than 1%, 0.0004%. And that's on average of the gas fee for each transaction. And we have around 700 million unique wallet addresses. And on daily active users, we have around 1 million. And every day, around 10 million transactions on the network.
Okay, just to get a better understanding and to give our audience a better understanding. So layer two, you said layer two. Layer two is another network which is interconnected with layer one with the main network of Ethereum one. Is that it?
It's so kind of like that in technically speaking, right? And layer two solve mainly as well. First of all, layer one and layer two is compatible, right? So the one of the main advantage of Polygon is it's 100% EVM compatible, and follow the same technical framework as Ethereum. Use the Solidity language. So there's a blockchain applications built on Ethereum. If they want to, have a cheap, lower gas fee, scalable solution deployed on Polygon, basically deploy on the layer two version, they don't need to necessarily to recode everything from scratch. They don't need to learn a new language. It follows the same Solidity framework with EVM compatible, virtual machine, and then they basically need to do a token mapping on Polygon network. Then it's a pretty simple way to deploy, migrate from Ethereum to Polygon, right? So I think if we frame out the tech structure, right? So Ethereum serve as a one of the fundamental layer ones, have thousands of nodes. It's one of the decentralized proof of work, currently proof of work, in
Yeah.
the future maybe proof of stake, right? Network, and in Polygon right now it's a layer two proof of stake. Much cheaper, much higher transaction TPS and network, and which is attached and compatible to Ethereum. So that's the of course we need to have a lot of bridges. We have our official Polygon to Ethereum bridge, and we have working with some other more than I think over 25 third-party bridges now to bridge assets between Ethereum and Polygon and other network as well. And so and that's basically how we can frame it. It's compatible to Ethereum, but it's a standalone network with a lot of similarities, right? So it's easy to move assets around. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's great. So coming back to layer one and layer two,
Mhm.
what happens to the Polygon network when the Ethereum 2.0 is released? Will Polygon will be fully compatible with Ethereum 2.0's EVM, or does it
Right.
stay as layer two?
Mhm. So I think first of all, it's a very good question. A lot of people has been asking us, what Polygon would look like when Ethereum 2.0 release, right? So I think first of all, the industry demand is increasing in a tremendous pace as well, right? So I think even though Ethereum 2.0 release make the the scalability, the transaction per second in Ethereum network, let's say 1,000 times more, right? But I think the demand is will be even, I would say, potentially 1 million times more than the current situation, right? So we will still need a lot of scaling solution around Ethereum. So I think Polygon from day one till now, we never trying to be the Ethereum competitor. We try to serve as a add-on and very well-rounded full stack scaling solution around Ethereum. So what happens when Ethereum 2.0 release is we're still going to be provide all kinds of the important infrastructure for the blockchain applications. So I think the vision will see like that. A lot of the assets layer in blockchain maybe will sit in Ethereum, but we will still have a lot of interesting, high frequency transaction applications that will sit on layer two, sits on Polygon network, even with some other non-public chain type of applications. So we have like EVM Nightfall, which served as a consulting chain technical framework. We have the partnership with Ernst Young, one of the leading consulting firm in the world. They are working with our Nightfall solution to have the consulting chain and the layer two solution. So I think back to the question, what happens to Polygon when Ethereum 2.0 come up? I think will still be a very important scaling solution in the space, serving all kinds of applications around there. So I think practical speaking, Ethereum 2.0 will take hope another maybe 2 or 3 years. I think, well, at least 2 years, right, to really fully roll out. I think that there's a lot of engineering work still need to be done. It needs to be properly tested because it's a very huge network already. It sits on hundreds of billions of dollars, right? So as a whole, so there's a lot of money we're talking about. So it needs to be secure, needs to be safe, still needs to be decentralized. So a lot of things needs to be properly tested. So it will take some time, right? So along these 2 years, we're gonna see a lot of new applications coming up. Like when this year we're seeing hundreds of applications from gaming, from metaverse coming into the space, and in the next 2 years we'll see maybe more from social fi, from DAO, from IoT, or even healthcare or many other applications coming into space, right? So we're gonna have a lot of people we're gonna work with. So the demand will be higher and higher. So we'll see how it goes in the next up to 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
So you just gave us a good hint of what should we wait for the next trend become in the DeFi space and the blockchain space,
Right.
because we had NFTs, we had metaverses, now we have something like social
Yeah.
finance.
Right.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Um, um, I have this interesting question right here. Initially, Polygon was designed to be a scalable solution for multiple blockchains.
Mm.
And then it focused on Ethereum only. Do you think you will switch back to becoming a solution for multiple blockchains with the release of Ethereum 2.0?
Yeah. So first of all, the cross-chain bridge is cross-chain solution is very important, right? I think well as our slogan, right? We want to be the internet blockchain for Ethereum, but we're seeing a lot of other layer twos, layer ones actually rolling out as well. But I think most of the founders in Polygon. Let me kind of get back to also the backgrounds of the founding team of Ethereum, of Polygon, right? So the CEO of Polygon, originally called Matic, was one of the key technical researcher in Ethereum, India, right? His name is JD, and then together with other the CTO Ajura, the COO Sandeep, we had these three founding team of Matic, founded Matic in 2017, right? At that time, a lot of people were talking about how to scale Ethereum with the Plasma, right? So they are the one of the team actually deploy developed the scaling solution for Ethereum with a Plasma approach, right? So they are actually a very big Ethereum believer. So compared to a lot of other teams who try to be the East killer, I think that's one of the main difference, right? Polygon never claim they want to be East killer. They're mostly the East supporter, right? So I think the being a cross-chain solutions, for Ethereum is very important. One of the key major technical roadmap upcoming, I don't know, maybe when next year, later next year, we're going to deploy is shared security chain built by Polygon solution. So we have the Polygon POS chain, right? We have the data availability chain. We're coming up soon. We're gonna have the Polygon Nightfall, Midden, Hermes, ZK EVM, all kinds of different solutions, right? Serve as a different chain, but it's all interconnected in the whole Polygon ecosystem, right? So this as a whole, we already need to have a cross-chain solution within the Polygon ecosystem, right? All these different rollups, right? And then outside of with external parties like outside of Polygon ecosystem, we're gonna build our shared security chain and all kinds of bridges which can be compatible with all kinds of EVMs, even with non-EVM chain like your WebAssembly, Rust based as well. So one of the key technical challenges Polygon team is trying to solve is to build a secure, scalable bridge between EVM chain and WebAssembly chain, which is heterogeneous, not the same framework, but they can compatible and talk with each other. So that's some of the challenges Polygon team is trying to solve, trying to deliver, hopefully next year. And with that, I think the scaling solution will be more diversified, right, and with more how to say user developer friendly as well. So it's a very important thing with a lot of work still remains to be done, and hopefully we're going to see those solutions get delivered next year or maybe 2 years later.
Oh, you said before that you have high demand and demand will be growing. Um, Demand for for the solution that Polygon provides. Um, I saw some projects, many projects are switching and they have a network connected, but they are mainly related to NFTs, indexes. Do you agree? Is there anything else? I mean, you see the boom of metaverses. Are there any project coming to Polygon from this field?
Yeah, so thank you for the good question. First of all, yes, NFT is one of the major trends this year. Right? We see huge amount of new people coming to Polygon, especially from the NFT space. So one major NFT ecosystem partner in Polygon is OpenSea, right? So in
Yeah.
OpenSea, one of the leading NFT marketplace, one the number one in the world, 47%, almost 50 now, like 47% of the transactions in Polygon on OpenSea is going through the Polygon network on daily basis, right? and actually over 60 of the new minted NFT assets are on Polygon network due to the lower gas fee, right? It's like hundreds of times cheaper than, thousands times cheaper than Ethereum, especially when Ethereum having the gas war. So, and then we have a pretty seamless bridge between um, Polygon, Ethereum, in with the NFT bridge, right? So, once if you are an NFT creator, right, you are like a designer, crypto artist, you want to do an NFT drop, you can mint it on Polygon network, drop down OpenSea, and if you decided, well, you want to sell and switch to Ethereum network, engage with some Ethereum users, you can use our NFT bridge to go, switch to the the Ethereum network of the NFT asset, and just list it on there as well, right? So you basically have much cheaper version of the minter, the creator tool, and then you
Okay.
have two distribution channel on the Ethereum network and on the Polygon network. But actually, the same UI because it's all on the same OpenSea, right? So as we
Yeah.
see a lot of people, a lot of creators doing the same, doing this way to lower down their gas fee, lower their costs, right? So that's a very good example of how why a lot of people actually start using Polygon for
Mm.
NFT stuff, right? So, and we see a lot of other companies, especially gaming companies as well, doing a lot of interesting NFT drops with game items, or game character or game skins on the Polygon skin, because a lot of those assets, gaming NFTs are not that expensive, right? So
Yeah.
the floor price, initial floor price, may be just like $20 or something, but sometimes Ethereum gas fee is like $100, right? So it can really, it's impossible to mint on Ethereum. Doesn't make sense, right? So a lot of those gaming projects, we see hundreds of that, right? Actually using Polygon to and to mint and actually do the NFT drops. Yeah. So I think the second part of the question, metaverse projects, right? We have quite a few like Decentraland, Sandbox, Cryptovoxel, Blocktopia. Those projects actually are leading metaverse project in the space. They most of them actually have the Polygon version deployed as well.
Okay. So mainly, just for someone who wants to, for example, sell their NFTs on Ethereum, they build it on Polygon. They transfer it to Ethereum network. And do they need to? I don't know. Will there be any fee involved in that? Or
There's a fee involved, but I think
okay,
that fee is significantly lower if you mint and
if
sell
you mint
everything
on
on
Ethereum.
Ethereum. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. And you can sell it on Polygon network and on Ethereum, or it will be transferred to either
It
network.
will be transferred, right? So if
Good,
you transfer the asset from this network to that network, that on the Polygon network, that asset will be frozen, right?
will be frozen. Good.
Yeah.
That's
Of
good.
course, you cannot print the same thing, again,
Right. Right. You
right?
cannot because it's NFT, right? It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a US dollar. Okay. Um, um, I I read the news on your blog, and not on the blog, but it was on the on the crypto news websites. Polygon and EY,
Mm,
Ernst and Young, are launching the Nightfall,
right.
which enables private transactions on the Ethereum's mainnet. And can you tell us more about this project? And is this feature fully based on the enterprise demand, or did you have interest in this kind of solution from private app developers as well? Um, because of the rise of the private transactions.
Right. So it's a very good question. And to be honest, I probably will need to ask more information from my colleagues because I'm not leading this initiative. But
Okay.
from based on the conversation I have with my ecosystem lead Arjun, who is leading the enterprise blockchain side, um, so there's two reasons we actually are very excited about this collaboration, and that's a fundamental reason why Ernst and Young actually also feel it's needed. Right? Is a lot of big enterprises have very strong kind of supply chain network already within the upside and downside of the supply chain value stream. That as a whole is already a pretty big network, but it still serves as a kind of a some consulting chain network framework, right? So they need to have a pretty protected, some kind of a permissioned, gateway and data points, right? So it's a kind of consulting chain framework, but some of the assets and data eventually wants to go to a public chain, right? So Polygon Nightfall serves as a solution that we it's a ZKE, it's a zero knowledge proved scaling solution, but it could be compatible on the consortium chain framework. So Ernst& Young and then most of their ecosystem partner, enterprise blockchain partners, wants to work, and at sometimes due to the compliant issue, can only work in the consortium chain framework, right? So
Yeah.
Nightfall basically serve the consortium chain scaling solution, but they have the bridge with the public chain, with Polygon PUS public chain, and also with Ethereum as well. And in most of the jurisdictions in currently, Ethereum, also Polygon, is compliant. We don't have any assets custodian. We don't own the centralized exchange, so we don't have the the compliant issues. So a lot of the major banks actually already, even including IBM, actually are using Ethereum as a blockchain framework, right? But due to the gas fee and scalability problem, right? So a big enterprise like enterprise like Anthony Young, right? Some others we're talking with as well are trying to find a scalable solution, but under the consortium framework. So that's kind of like a new custom tooling, a custom made blockchain tooling we provide for Anthony Young and for other enterprise blockchain partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second, the question I have will be related into the private blockchain, right? Um,
Okay. Hmm.
Based on your, you have a great experience based on your experience and on the experience and knowledge and skills and the atmosphere you have within the Polygon, company. Do you think private transactions and more private blockchain will be warmly accepted by government in DeFi finance? Does private
Hmm.
blockchain transactions actually block the transparency concept of the blockchain ecosystem in general?
Hmm. Right. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. Requires both sides of perspective, right? So first of
Yeah.
all, it depends on what where the perspective come from, right? If I am imagine I am a institutional investor, right, who wants to enter DeFi space, one of the major concern, from the Wall Street people or a lot of the major, let's say, fintech, trading a desk and some other, financial derivative trading companies, right, in the space who are trading, billions of dollars every year, right? If those big institutions come entering DeFi, one of the major concerns they have is their trading transactions that being piggybacked by many other people, right? Being too, they don't have the privacy protected by all the information get leaked, so they don't necessarily want that, right? So I think the private transactions is one of the important things, but needs to be protected in a way that they have the KYC, they have the AML, solution. It's some of those big transaction needs to be traced and also needs to be following the compliant framework, right? So of course, some people will argue DeFi due to this kind of not centralized way it's somehow live as a kind of gray area, right? A lot of people actually can enter the space. So we're going to see some interesting institutional DeFi, and we actually a lot of institutional DeFi solutions are already kind of coming in the space, being well funded by leading investor in the space. So probably they're going to launch next year. We're going to see institutional level DeFi adoption, project being built, right? So with that, I think one of the key elements is using zero knowledge proof scaling solution or some kind of private transaction solutions to support that kind of institutional DeFi. So institutional players can actually trade and start to use the DeFi protocols to do yield farming, to do lending, to do derivative trading under the decentralized manner with a decent DeFi manner, but actually have to go through somehow the KYC, AML, and most of their transactions don't being packed, being traced by their competitor, by other people. So I think somehow this kind of solution needs to be very custom made for different users, right? From the regulator point of view, right? Of course, regulators don't want people to use DeFi or blockchain as a money laundering or let's say some kind of misbehave tools, right? So of course, people can argue terrorists or some kind of criminals should not use this as a way to to do money laundering, right? So of course, the AML, the KYC, the custody, and those kind of solutions and needs to be used, needs to be integrated into the DeFi space. I think some of those group space and actually some of those compliant licensed fiat on ramp solutions we've been talking with from Polygon side as well. So we have been actively working with those kind of leading solutions such as MoonPay, SimpleX, Alchemy Pay, some others. Well, these guys have already been licensed, compliant by ICC, by Singapore Monetary Authority, and some other really good financial savvy jurisdictions, and has been supported by the government. And these solutions basically is regulator friendly, and I think in the upcoming future we're going to see regulation technology on blockchain as well. So I think back to your question, private transaction, private chains will be warmly accepted by regulators and DeFi fans. Yes and no, right? I think will be right, but we will need to see better solutions to come out in the space, right? And then with that, I think we will be we're going to see more adoption.
Okay. So
Yeah.
institutions are coming into DeFi, right?
Yes.
And I believe that there should be a stricter regulation for institutions to come, because of course the main concern for the retail investor would be institutions coming with the full bag of money, and if they're gonna ruin with the transactions and their trades, that maybe if they're gonna exploit or spoil the blockchain or the pool, right? Because one institution can come in with the $10 million buy or sell, and then the whole pool will be ruined. So in that space, I think if institutions are coming to decentralized finance and they want private blockchain, I think there should be a regulation, very strict regulation, to not, money laundering is one thing, but the other is, speculating in the market,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
okay, so look forward to it. And can you share about the coming updates on the Polygon network that we should be looking for? Anything
Yeah. So
coming really soon?
one of the major trend or recent movement is we have been very focused on gaming and the metaverse, right? I think since May this year, we have a new entity established this year since May, right? It's called Polygon Studio, which serves as one of the we hope to be the global facilitator for GameFi, metaverse, or NFT fields, right? So we have been actively working and talking with a lot of the leading AAA gaming studios, and we actually invest in quite some game studios and game companies as well. Try to be the leading and the trendsetter of gaming, Web3 gaming, metaverse side. So we're seeing a very interesting movement. Before May, the majority of the Polygon wallets has been using for DeFi purpose, right? And lending, yield farming, all kinds of stuff, right? But mostly for the DeFi purpose, right? And then after since June, I would say we are seeing increasing amount of people using Polygon in gaming and NFT. Right now, I think over 85% of the Polygon network users are using Polygon for gaming, for
Oh,
daily transactions stuff, and we are seeing this number more and more. So we wouldn't say Polygon become a gaming chain, but gaming and metaverse become a very big meta right now, right? It's like a major focus right now. We are working and talking with a lot of the leading metaverse projects and gaming projects, and actually talking to a lot of traditional gaming companies like Blizzard, EA, Zynga, Ubisoft, Tencent, Perfect World, NetEase, all the big names, right? Some of them
okay.
are already entering the space. So we try to be a good blockchain infrastructure for these guys to enter from big Web2 people to come into Web3. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do you think EA will release anything like Crash Bandicoot Racing or anything in in
We're
Metaverse?
talking with some EA. We're talking with some current EA managers. We are actually talking with some ex EA, people who already resigned from EA as well. I think the conversation goes twofold, right? There's people thinking blockchain is still too early for them, right? They still need
Right.
waiting for the infrastructure to be ready, mature. They're willing to wait for other people to kind of do something and
Yeah.
see the test, to see the validation and so on. But There are also the other side of people who are very aggressive, who already see kind of the adoption, the tremendous growth from Axie Infinity, some other major fast leading projects like Sky Startless, right? Gods on Chain, some other new project, raised a lot of money, actually have huge amount of users, supporters, and waiting for their product to be launched. And so they actually are trying and actually already plan some specific plan to do some interesting game product on blockchain, right? Of course, the Web2 people needs to learn how the Web3 or crypto and all things are doing, right? So that's the reason Polygon established Polygon Studio, trying to be the facilitator or even incubator or accelerator, right, for those Web2 companies, right, to learn what blockchain can be useful for them, what kind of co-creation needs to be done, and what kind of resources we can provide them, right, to accelerate their process. Um, so I think Polygon Studio as an entity, we have been doing active investment, but also co-creation, co-incubation, and support for all kinds of these kind of people entering the space. Yeah.
I think for EA, they already have a project which has an open world, and and of course, with the metaverse, you need a lot of customization
Right.
related to the open world and the customization of the character you're playing with. It seems, why not release Sims for open world? The game from the EA. That would be great. That would be
Yeah.
great. So looking
Mhm.
forward to it. That's good to
Yeah.
know. Thanks. I will jump into questions from our audience. We have some questions, and
Sure.
okay, let's start with. Okay, I think the question is the same that I asked, but you can just shortly recap. Do you have any plan to work with GameFi metaverse projects? Just to recap shortly.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, right, I think we have quite a lot already going on. And for the future of the GameFi and the metaverse, I think we would like to support some infrastructure or middle layer, protocols or tooling, right, and to make those gaming companies entering Web3 more smoother. Right. I think those are the angle. The other angle is trying to work with all kinds of fiat on ramps, right, solutions. So if gamers wants to play Web3 games, right, they need to have a simple, seamless fiat on ramps, right, so they can pay with fiat to enter crypto. So we're talking actively with a lot of fiat on ramps solutions to integrate with Polygon. Then by default, if you build your blockchain gaming on Polygon, we can give those kind of support for all kinds of developers. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Um, how do Polygon compare with Solana or Cardano when it comes to being an Ethereum competitor?
Right. First
Anything
of
about
all, we never call ourselves a considering Ethereum competitor, right? So that's the fundamental difference from the narrative, from the vision. We're completely different from Solana, Cardano, some others, right? Who try somehow to be the East killer, right? I think that's a very different angle to see. I think Ethereum has the biggest network effect in the world, and it will stay with that, with the smartest Ethereum, developers in the world, still, trying to, grow the ecosystem of Ethereum together with Polygon. We have advisors from Consensus, from East Foundation, from Bankless people, supporting Polygon, and a lot of the Ethereum smart developers actually are building interesting blockchain application on Polygon as well. So I think. I wouldn't really. I'm certainly a bit biased, right? Comment on other, layer one blockchains, right? I think every blockchain layer one blockchains have their pros and cons. We do notice some scenarios events, right, happened on Solana that they crashed multiple times due to high traffic, right. On Cardano, it took them almost 4 years to get the smart contract ready, right, and also it's now Solidity EVM compatible. So we will see how we'll go, right. So I think every blockchain ecosystem has their advantages and the disadvantages, and of course, we also believe the future of blockchain will be multi-chain and multi-layer anyway. So it's definitely not just Ethereum, right? But from Polygon perspective, we still think Ethereum is one of the biggest, blockchain infrastructure, and it has the problem, and that problem I think will be solved some part by Polygon, the scaling solution. Yeah.
okay? Thanks. Um, There is a question, but I think I will add to it, rephrase it probably. So the question is, does Polygon has a fund for metaverse project? So it's, I think it's related to your Polygon Studios. Well, do
Yeah,
you
we
have?
in terms of fun, we organize Metaverse Festival upcoming, right?
Okay.
We have the Polycon, like online DevCon we organized last month in October, actually October 2 months ago, and then yeah, we have some other interesting kind of metaverse music festival and stuff. We are brainstorming with interesting metaverse player, and like we did something on Decentraland where we are thinking about some interesting events, and talking with quite some celebrities and musicians as well. And one actually a very big angle we are very bullish on is sports. So Polygon has been actively talking with many sports player partner, including NFL Alliance, right? So NFL Alliance, they are together with Ticket Market Master, their future ticketing, um, part of the ticketing can be treated as NFT, right? And that solution will be built by Polygon. So that's already announced publicly in recent weeks. And
Uh-huh.
some of the major, global house, well-known, sports stars such as Tom Brady, Ronaldinho, Leo Messi, right, and some others like Indian Cricket Alliance, or yeah, some others in the upcoming which we haven't really closed yet. Um, we will build the NFT drops on Polygon, right? So we are very very bullish on sports. And I think next year, when World Cup actually coming up, right? And by the way, actually, we have a very recent event. It's upcoming in December 12th in Abu Dhabi. We are working with Formula One. We're gonna organize grand final after party events. We're gonna invite a lot of the Formula One race car drivers, including Hamilton, to the events. And so, yeah, we are very bullish in sports, right? So in terms of fun stuff, I think the entertainment industry, including music, movie, sports, and gaming, right? All of these are fun entertainment industry and partners. We are actually very actively working and talking with a lot of them to figure out some kind of interesting, fun, blockchain solution, or maybe just some kind of festival or events we can co-organize. Yeah.
That's cool. That's great. Well, in terms of gaming, I mean, if sports is very interconnected into gaming,
Yeah.
so that's cool. I don't have any questions left. Thank you very much, Charlie. If there is anything you would like to add, please go ahead, and we will invite you sooner because we really want to know about the institutions. As you mentioned, that they're jumping into DeFi, and the launch of Nightfall. It's very interesting. We would like to know more. We will be more than happy to see you. We will see you later. And best of luck with the project. Best of luck with you what you're doing. Anything you would like to add, please go ahead. Which we should be tracking for and looking for in Polygon updates.
Sure. So first of all, thank you very much, Azif, for the great interview. It's been a pleasure to having the opportunity talking with everybody in the audience. And thank you, being X, for the blockchain week. I think final remark for everybody who's still in the space. Um, I've been in this crypto space for many years, right? I see people come and go. Crypto is certainly very volatile, right? But I think this year has been a great journey talking to so many interesting and solid builders, right? So we're gonna see a lot of more and more builders entering the space, and so if you want to keep an eye on Polygon, just search on Twitter, Polygon Technology. And if you want to follow us, so on the Asia side, Polygon Chinese is our Twitter channel. We are sharing all kinds of news on a daily basis. That's the best way to keep us, keep in tap on us. And actually, our Telegram group is actually very active as well. The global Telegram official group and a Chinese group. We have more than 25,000 members now. And yeah, we organize all kinds of events online. And hopefully, we're going to organize some more together with BingX. And yeah, hopefully, looking forward to talk with you soon.
Yeah, we would love to have another event, especially related to NFT and sports on BingX. Probably we could, do some event related to have drop an NFT from Hamilton or Messi, which is
Yeah,
really hard.
that's gonna be hard. Yeah, I will try to talk with Hamilton. If he win the world champion this year, he's gonna beat the record with Michael Schumacher, right? That he's gonna
Yeah,
be the highest champion owner in Formula One history. So that's huge. So I think
that's huge.
that's gonna be an epic spotlight, right? I think that kind of NFT created at that specific night in December 12th will be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we will be watching that for sure. I'm a fan of Formula One since early years, since 2000. So I'll be definitely watching
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
we will probably organize an NFT drop or anything with Polygon, of course, with
Sure.
BingX users, of course. So guys, please, keep tracing, follow us on follow Polygon, and follow BingX on Twitter, Telegram, and all other social media. And thank you very much for being here. Thanks for spending your time with us. I'm sure that this AMA was helpful. You know more about Polygon, how it works, and what are the plans. And they look really huge. So keep watching, keep tracing, and have a great one. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.